Hello, 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 hello. I see we already have a few people in chat here. Color me surprised. Oh my god. Color me surprised. How's it going, everyone? This is actually going to be a rare change of pace because we're going to be going immediately into the trial here. So, I would say buckle in. Let me make sure I adjust the volume here. Been sipping water, making sure I'm all hydrated. Alright. Either way, enough of me blabbering. Nice to see you in here, Brad. Same with you, Adachi. I'll be keeping an eye out for any YouTube Andes who show up here. Love to show everyone some equal love. And aside from that, yeah, we are literally about to start the trial here. So, kind of getting straight into it. I suppose actually, normally I would be like, let's rush into this, but let's kind of recap what we did last time. Last time we left off, we had finished the first trial day. We were dealing with the old man, and after the old man, let's see, what was it after the old man? Oh yeah, after the old man, we dealt with the tiger dude. We went to the victim's workplace. We saw that one weird girl who's like the daughter of some mafioso fella. Something along those lines. And aside from that, that's fine, Ruin. I don't know, we're going straight into the trial here, so who knows? Maybe you might catch some glimpses of something crazy. Alright. Trial time. Alright. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. It's morning for you guys, too. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well and ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination? Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Well, I guess it's ride or die now. Hey! Pow! Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? We are still here. We are. The reason why is because the last stream was like especially short. This time I'm doing it a bit early, so this time around we should hopefully get past it because we have been on this trial longer than I would have normally been on a trial. Okay, guys, calm down, calm down. Here, maybe this will help. Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. It's poison, Phoenix. This is a small bottle that turned up in Trey Bien's kitchen a couple of days ago. Wow, look at all these little bottles. You see, this is where the flashback is helpful. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. Here, he's got so many, they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. We finally got the analysis report. We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So, what is it? Is it poison? I'm afraid not, pal. Oh. It's medication? Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. Huh. So it's a guy's ear medicine. For ears? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? Found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal. This is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? Okay, Gumshoe. Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Okay. January 8th, 10 a.m., District Court number 4. Hey, it's also 10 a.m. for him. We have canon times and everything right now. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. I'm also drinking coffee right now. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand. But according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet, the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? Ha! Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seeds in here. He was throwing us off the scent. And today I'll prove it. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. Also, Rillin, bro thinks he's Godot? You're damn right I'm Godot. You're right. You're right. I love voicing this guy. It's so fun. And you are? Oh, bonjour, everyone. Oh, God. And going from Godot to Armstrong is a whiplash. Oh, bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and chef of La Très Bien Restaurant. Enchanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh my God, are we really making this a point? Oh la la, monsieur. As you can see, I am la put and pucky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Très Bien's kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur? Huh? Everything feels right. Ha! Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Très Bien. Oui, volunteers. At Très Bien. When it all happened, there were 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decors that day. Like averting a large mirror between a table, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what la old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. It would have seen everything in reverse, no? So he's saying there was like a mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. Le most enormous mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Très bien. Okay. Let's go through this piece by piece. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Mice, of course. The young man who died. and the other, not so young man. Right, and you're lying to me. You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume. What about the other man Maggie said she saw at the table? Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? I guess I'll just have to try a different approach for the time being. Okay, that's essentially them saying, yes, that is a point, but not yet. It's too soon. I remember I was experimenting with some new Art Deco at that day. You were experimenting with Art Deco? How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago. Ahem. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoture? No, Art Deco. It is a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that sort of thing. Ah, yes, of course. That's Deco. I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of La Decor. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. How big of a mirror are we talking about here? Boof. Something about 4 meters wide and about 2 meters high. Let's see, if 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass in a frame, that's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. Ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. No, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror? Of course. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there's nothing about a mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimonies. But...
Objection!
You didn't ask, Trite. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. You didn't know either, Godot. What? The mirror was delivered to Trapien the day before the incident. Really? As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes. And as it turned out, he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. This just doesn't add up. Even if a mirror was delivered to Trapien, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Ha! If you want to doubt someone, Trite, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. Normally, I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object.
Objection!
Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer? Oh my god. Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-notch chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite? Ah! Not the hair! I do not have a top knot! Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Bro really just he hit Phoenix Wright with the, dude, look at us. We are not normal. Bien, logic has won la day. And Armstrong's is also there. La cup, la earpiece, la glasses. It would have seen everything was in reverse, no? Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse? Hey, Nick, we should take a second and think about what old CD said in his testimony. How did he phrase it again? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same size as the green lens of the specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. Yeah, he wouldn't flip. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand. If he saw everything he described reflected in the mirror, then everything he said on the left was actually on the right, huh? And that clears up all the problems with his testimony, I guess. Or does it? Ha! It's kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but do you think the old CD saw everything through a reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony. But that just makes the situation worse for Maggie. There's gotta be something in that old man's testimony. We've just gotta dig deeper. Okay. I think it wants me to... Was it this one? Yeah, it was this middle one here. Let's see, do we have something here? Actually, I would probably want to refer to the note he handed us. No? Hold on. How big a mirror? I'll leave it. Is he lying about the mirror? What would I have to contribute? Do we have a picture? Where was the old man sitting? Because it wouldn't make sense for him to even have a mirror. Is that the mirror behind him? No, that doesn't, again, that doesn't make sense. Okay, hold on. I could just present this picture here. Because we have a picture of the crime scene. No? Okay. Let's see, because I need a large mirror between the table. No. Okay. I mean, maybe just floor plan? Okay, you know, I'm gonna press, let me press harder here for a second. Okay, what happens, there's two customers. Right, he's lying right now, but we have nothing we can really do with this till later. How big a mirror? Pretty big mirror. Yeah, press harder. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it, but there's nothing about mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie Bird's testimony.
Objection!
Yeah, they're just saying, boo-hoo, you didn't ask. It doesn't prove it was in the restaurant on the day of the crime. Okay. Do we have anything referencing magazine clipping, job listing, lunch special, scooter, loan, Victor's... When the incident occurred, I broke the base of my seat. I'm sorry. That's not much to go off. Huh. Crime scene photo. I don't see a mirror there. Maybe I'm just presenting on the wrong thing. Oh, perhaps what is the old man looking at? Wait, what the old man was looking at? Yeah, I don't see how he could have. We have pictures of the crime scene. I'm not quite. Okay, hold on. Let's see, Maya. What do you think? Hard to believe everything's the fault of a mirror, but there's something in the old man's testimony. What the old man was looking at.
Objection!
Oh no, there's this. Damn. Okay. What the old man? I mean, he was looking at her back, but what it appeared there were two customers. Experimenting? Is this a... How come I never heard about it? big of a mirror. Yeah, get up. When the prosecutor... Okay, so there is a big mirror in there. Or something. What would hint at a mirror? I'm trying to find something. Mirror, mirror on the wall. The only thing I could see is this here. And I don't, unless we're supposed to assume that's the mirror, which I don't think it is. Because when would you have the time to put down the thing? Well, maybe when the incident occurred, I broke the vase in my seat. Because Maya says something about his testimony. Did you... Okay. Nah. Guess it's too early to present Furio Tiger here. I guess. I could try going for it to see what dialogue appears. Okay. Yeah, it's too early for me to do that. Huh. I have a large meeting between tables, for example. Oh, does this just... No. Help me out here. I'm kind of blanking here. It's kind of hard to believe everything is the fault of a mirror, but... Something in that old man testimony, we just gotta dig deeper. The cup, the earpiece, the glasses. Everything would have seen would have been in reverse, no? Is that true? Everything? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No questions. Okay, yeah, this is the problem. I'm struggling to remember. Okay. His left hand. He saw everything. And everything he said was with his left was actually on the right, huh? Okay, wait. So, is it that last one? Because, everything would have been reversed. Everything that he saw on his left would have been on his right. That would explain the earpiece. Oh. I think maybe... I'm just thinking about it. Why would he be wearing... Maybe it's trying to hint at something couldn't have switch or something with switch... There's a mistake? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of right now. Cause, let's see. He has his ear... He was a programmer, wore something over his left eye, and his left eardrum was ruptured. Okay, left eye, left eardrum. Oh, the cup. Wait, but the cup is shown to be held with his right... Hold on, let me hear what he said. I almost feel like I need to write this down, so I need to... Let's see. How did he phrase it? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side of the green lens on his specs. No question. It was his left... Okay, so he had left ear... Left ear... Left spec... And he used his left hand to pick up the cup. Okay. Okay, so which thing doesn't make sense for him to have swapped? Hold on, let's see. Okay, going from his left ear to his right ear. His right ear is not ruptured, so that makes sense. His speck that was on his left would have been on his right? Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
Objection!
There we go. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. I had to write it down just to think it over. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same size as the green lens on his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. Oh wait, I just realized. I did the thing. You guys could probably hear the audio playing back on my phone. My bad. I've noticed that in VODs and stuff. I do that to listen to myself when I'm speaking, but yeah. It should hopefully be less background noise as I'm speaking. So, to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw all of that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Exactement, you see, monsieur. Now that you think about it, it's not so odd, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Order, order! Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye.
Objection!
How bitter. Trite, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. You know what, kiddo? I'll take a sip of coffee for you. Chilled. Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? The I broke the vase, sorry, I apologize. Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly, it's the victim's eyepiece. And that is my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his ear. The left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Ha. Well, Trite. That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever. Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Kudo's good. Enough. I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at la plan of la restaurant. Mirror. Allows, is everything sitting... allows, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror. It was in the middle of la restaurant, dividing the two halves. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. That was la seat at the table next to la victim's. That was where the old man was sitting. After the terrible accident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Oh, liar, 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 liar. What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Ah, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror? Are you quite sure about that? Volunteers, of course. Liar. Wee wee. Liar alert. Very well, Mr. Wright, you cross-examination if you please. I'm not gonna make the mistake, though, of skipping to the very last dialogue, because I've done that a few times. Though, the first one is definitely a joke. This one right here. Oh, never mind, they skipped it. That wasn't the first thing they said. The first thing you said was, is everyone sitting comfortably? So, run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would have been in the way.
Objection!
Look who's talking, trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But, this is my seat in the courtroom. Très bien's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, trite. I tell you, monsieur, la mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant. There is only one seat from which you could have seen an image of la victim. And where would that be? Oh la la, look at you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones too, you know, and shall I tease you too? I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. Oh, I see how it is gonna. I bet she has a mocha cream skin and a cappuccino perfume. Bien, I will tell you. There was only one seat from which you could have seen. That was the seat at the table next to the victim. That was where the other. Oh yeah, where the old man was sitting. So why can you only see the victim from that particular seat? Lies, monsieurs, it is obvious, no? If you look at the plans, you will understand. If you're sitting at that table next to him, you would see everything, no? So that's the old seat he was sitting in on that day when the poisoning happened. The old man was sitting at the table next to the victim? Why does that seem kind of odd? Really? How about this? I present to you the photo of the crime scene, once again. Oh, wow. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Huh. Sounds like you're describing yourself, trite. I need to enunciate the T. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. It's the vase. What is something that should not exist in this photo? Take that! I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does this have with the witness's testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Oh my god, I love it when I have a dry tongue. It contradicts with this. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we could draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Très Bien that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu!
Objection!
Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase, while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in the ear which she couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There is more than just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Clearly, Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Mr. Trite, you're the one who brought up all these contradictions, and if you're trying to tell us the old man just made a mistake, we can wrap up this case right now with a guilty verdict. How about it, Mr. Wright? Should I declare your client guilty? Is that the best you could come up with, Nick? Ah! I'm sorry, Your Honor, I was... whoa. Okay. Really? Oh. The victim was a phony? This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Oh. Order in the court! Settle down or clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Oh my god. That's right. Are you implying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out of the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Kudo was heated. Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a Javakino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's just so hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee.
Objection!
Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He could have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness? If your restaurant really was a scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la. This is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there, in fact, a phony Trabian that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain, in detail, the events in the restaurant that day. Oh, oui. In the restaurant. La victim Monsieur Eggs came to my restaurant alone. I remember that old man arrived not long after him. There was no other customers. When he got word of it when la lottery, mon egg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for phony to do la acting. Oh, really? Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all? Je vous demande pardon, forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Oui. For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please. You took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. In the restaurant. Came to the restaurant alone? Was he alone at his table as well? Mais oui, I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Mr. Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table.
Objection!
Ha! Unfortunately for you, trite. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that makes me seem wise all of a sudden. I remember that old man arrived not long after him. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Oui, it comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome at any time. I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So old Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. How many minutes after? So you're saying that not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived? Oui, that is correct. But that still leaves the possibility that something happened in the gap of time. And by your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed? Let me see. Approximately 2 minutes, I would say. 2 minutes? That's all? Seems unlikely that anything untoward could have happened in such a short time. Rats. I knew I shouldn't have pursued this line of questioning. Hold on. What time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur. I believe we were told by a witness testimony. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? The incident happened about 20 minutes after you arrived, so the victims must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10 p.m., no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Oui, monsieur judge, everything I do for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Ha ha ha. I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. I remember that old man arriving not long after him, just after 2 p.m. Are you absolutely sure about the time? When I think really odd, I am sure it was at just after 2, oui. It is the time I stopped serving the lunch menu. Quite right. I always break for lunch when the restaurants are serving their specials. I've been known to wind up a case early just to make it on time. Ha ha! I guess you should never get between a hungry judge and his lunch. Oh, would you look at that? It's almost lunchtime already. Witness! Get on with your testimony, please. Okay, wait. So we added that testimony. Does it contradict something? Do we have anything with time? Contradiction! He was. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. You stupid son of a bitch. Qui? What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Oui, that must have been the show Bon Elk was listening to. I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder... Huh? You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct? Oui, I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving the lunch menu. Get to the point, trite, if you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on air at 1:30? Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time. No! This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There is only one conclusion you could draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yes, there were two Glen Elks in Trapien that day. The real Glen Elk, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the phony Glen Elk, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. It certainly seems that way. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could you explain the time discrepancy?
Objection!
Quite a performance, trite. You were almost on a roll. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony elk is performing a play for the benefit of Mr. Kudo. How do you explain, then, where the real Glen Elk is? I don't believe I have to spell this out for the court. However, at that time, the real Glen Elk was already dead. That's certainly the obvious conclusion.
Objection!
I don't know, what does the autopsy say? Thank you, Trite. That's exactly what I was hoping you would say. What? Now, I presume you could prove this theory of yours? Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? According to the old man's testimony, there was only one other customer there. If that customer was the phony Glen Elk, then where did the killer hide the body of the real victim? Nah! I mean, I feel like that was obviously going to be the next line of questioning. The prosecution has a valid point, Mr. Wright. If your theory is to stand up to be examined by the court, you must provide us with proof by answering the prosecution's question. Where did the killer hide the body? Yes, Your Honor. No conjecture, Trite. Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. And evidence? Yes, right, evidence. And let me save. Just be safe. What's with the intense pressure in here all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But but he's turned it around. He's turned it all around and backed me into a corner instead. Well, Mr. Wright, the court will now hear the defense's theory and evidence. First, where was the body of the real Glen Elg concealed? Huh. He could have been hidden in the kitchen, no? It was in the kitchen. Because that's where his medicine was found. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Très Bien. Interesting. But where could a body have been hidden inside a restaurant? Perhaps you would care to show the court on these plans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. The exact location where the body was hidden in Très Bien was... in the kitchen. The body was hidden here. I see. Nice supposition. But the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the evidence that proves the body was hidden in that location? Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? Dude, I'm on a roll. No! I have never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. The highest quality one only for me. Where was that bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interesting enough, Your Honor. It was found in the kitchen of Très Bien. Eh? Quoi? I only ever use this bottle for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. What kind of medication? I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they, that Mr. Glen Elg visited an otolaryngological clinic and was given medication that day. You can't be serious. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription that was given to Mr. Elg. Glen Elg's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Mon Dieu? Yes, you know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie Bird. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. No! Beautiful lawyering, indeed. Order! This is an extraordinary development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glen Elg? Never. I could not do such a horrible thing. No! Godot, no! No! Mr. Godot? The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? My each deficient friend? Je vous demande pardon. Please, you must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. Por favor. Yo hablo español, Mr. Armstrong, and por favor is Spanish. Oh, damn. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No, absolutely none. Let's hear it. You've got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you the chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. We love a bilingual king. I'm surprised Judge speaks Spanish. As does my gavel. Oui, it is clear. What did they always say in movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. Very well. Begin your final testimony, Mr. Armstrong. The confession. It is true, I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with this because there was a reason why I could not refuse. But I did not kill him. I swear it. You must believe me. You were an accomplice to murder. You were forced? By who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question, then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at his table? There was another man. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now, Mr. Wright. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. The examination. The confession. It's true, I hid the body in the kitchen. Did you carry the body by yourself? Oui, I carried him and carried Maggie too. Maggie too? When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there. But why did you hide the bodies? A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. What man? Who was he? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You'll just have to put you'll just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. Yeah, you're right. If you won't tell me, I'll tell him. Okay. Would it be then either I present the man himself or the dead? I could just start with presenting the man.
Objection!
Let's end this dance of ring around the rosy, Mr. Armstrong. This is the man you've been referring to. Ah! Who was that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a month ago in this very courtroom? This man is Furio Tiger. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point in trying to hide the truth anymore, Mr. Armstrong. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tiger, at least not while he had this on you.
Take that!
A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything this man told you to do. It is as you say. Mr. Armstrong, that Tiger, he told me that he was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. On the day in question, he was meeting a victim that demands that he repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what he told me to. I had no choice. I carried the body and the inconscient Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I had seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tiger. I do have one further question for you, Mr. Armstrong. The poison in the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket, was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it, I was not. It is despicable. Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tiger as a witness. I doubt that can be arranged today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. What, you already have him here? 30 minutes. Well, what? The trial will go on. I'll see to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the... Don't sit back and relax yet, trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could so go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Tiger is ready to take the stand. Until then, court is adjourned for a 30-minute recess. Oh, wow. We might be able to finish this today. I hope we can. It seems like we're reaching the end point here. Okay, yeah. January 8th, 1:21 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 2. You know, before we do this, I need to send out a notification for game dev stuff. Hold on. Mean chat there, everyone. What's it called? Meeting in 2 hours. Okay, do that. Just skim through random messages just to make sure. Blah 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 blah. Excuse me. Let's see here. Thanks, Discord. Received. Whirling, what the fuck? You know what, Rulin? Only you really guy, person in chat. You are the only one who would have known what I just reacted to. I can't believe you would accept such an evil gift. So we're finally going to see the tiger on the stand. I had no say in this? Yes, you did. You could have declined. You accepted it. No. You accepted it. You brought it into your home, into your Steam library, and now you're forever going to have it. We've almost got this case won now, Nick. I wish I could agree. Huh? When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to. The Godot picked up on it, remember? He pointed up. Don't worry about it. He pointed out that without proof he would know if what he testified is the truth. You mean, you think Mr. Armstrong was lying? I don't know, but if that's what the line of if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling that we don't have the case-making evidence we're going to need. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe? What are you so jumping about, Detective? Your hair is standing on end. Hey, that's the pot calling the kettle, black little Mr. Topknot, Miss Topknot. It's not a topknot. Never mind about the hair. Just calm down, alright? I can't stand still when I don't have a job to do. I kinda got wound up. Ah! No kidding. You gotta have something you need me to do, pal. Anything. Well, hey, I'm gonna take a jog back down to the precinct. I could get some prints analyzed for you if you got an hour. An hour? The trial will have reconvened by then. But Nick, we still don't have a really decisive piece of evidence, right? True. Without some kind of trump card to pull out the bag, we're really stuck. You said you can get some fingerprints analyzed done in an hour? You bet. In that case, would you mind checking out the prints on this for me? Oh. If you're going back to the station anyways, could you find out whose prints are on these? Oh, hey, that's a small bottle I gave back to you in the morning, right? Yeah, I think it's time we solved the last mystery of who the prints on it belong to. Sure thing, pal. Actually, that's been gnawing at me too. Small bottle given Detective Gumshoe. Okay, I'll get this off to the lab right away. Just make sure you don't lose the case before I get back. It's pretty much the final showdown, I guess. It's time to separate the phonies from the real guys. Here we go. Take a sip of coffee. January 8th, 1:56 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Godot, did you find this Furio tiger? I even tamed him for you. It was a 3-cup job. No problem. Tamed him? The guy's name may be Furio Tiger, but come on. He's pretty lively. Be careful. He still bites. Very well. Please show Mr. Tiger to the stand. Witness? Please state your name and occupation for the Grawr! Ah! Don't hide under the table, Maya. Unless there is room for me down there, too. Would you mind? What do you say to me? Nothing. I didn't say nothing. Honest. Who could have guessed that fear would have induced a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? I got business to take care of, you hear me? So who the hell called me into this hole? Was it you, Spiky? Ah, no, of course not. It was the Judge. Your Honor? Oh dear, I seem to have dropped my pen. Where on earth is it? Don't mind me, just carry on with the proceedings as normal. That's it, we're doomed. Maybe you didn't hear me. I said, who the hell was that called me here? There is no need to shout. We can all hear you. What do you say? There's no point struggling. You're caught in a snare. The relentless snare of the law. And I'm the one that holds you in. Too cool. Don't let him get the better of you, Nick. Let's start with the basics. You know about the incident in question, correct? Incident? I don't know nothing about no stinking incident, Mask Boy. You mean you didn't attend the previous trial of Maggie Bird? Maggie who? I've got more important things to do than watch courtroom dramas. Of course. Well, perhaps you could give us your testimony then? Please tell us about what you did on the day of the murder. Phoenix Wright. You's the one who set this up, didn't you? You's gonna regret the day you ruffled the tiger's fur. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Get a grip, Nick. I don't know nothing about no murderer. I was tied up with business in December last year. Spent all of my time in my office. I got whales lined up to borrow cash from tender lender every single day. You want to check my alibi? Just ask Violetta. Ah, at last I found my pen. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, please. What is it? Please, witness, if you could refrain from shouting out like that. I know the kind of games that guy in the blue plays. That lowlife ain't no lawyer. He just punches away at stupid details till he wins. Lowlife? Me? Listen up, smarty. Every time you ask me something that doesn't relate to this case, I'm gonna bill you oh my god, I'm gonna bill you $50,000, and you's gonna borrow the cash from me. That's one loan contract I refuse to sign. And don't think about how it ain't gonna hurt when you tangle with the tiger. I love a good spectator sport. Just a minute. That's really not. This witness is... How can I put it? A hungry tiger roaming the urban jungle? Get on his bad side and he'll bite everyone's heads off. Yours too. Very well. I have no choice but to impose a penalty system here. You better be listening. I said I got business to take care of. Big business. If I don't split now, I ain't gonna catch my bus. The court will impose a penalty for any irrelevant pressing of witness testimony. Keep that in mind as you begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You can do it, Nick. Come out from under there already, would you, Maya? Okay, so I can't press anything. Unless it's relevant. Okay. Wrong.
Objection!
Okay, well, that is evidence. I just need to press it, I guess.
Hold it!
Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. You see these teeth? That's how sharp my secretary is. Sharp? Is he talking about Viola Cadaverini? She writes everything in my scheduler. December, mainly in the office. That's what it says, so that's where I was. That seems like a rather, sketchy schedule. Grr. There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What important is what he was doing on the day of the murder. So, now what? Mr. Tiger, what do you want? If you wouldn't mind going into a bit more detail.
Objection!
This is a dead end, Trite, and you know it. Remember the rules.
Objection!
Oh, come on. No. It's essential that we establish the witness's alibi accurately. I agree. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Maybe you ain't listening. Of course I was. I never set foot outside. Wrong. I had meetings all day with a bunch of cats wanting to do business with me. Wrong. I ain't never seen that young kid before. Wrong. I do believe the witness's last statement was important. Mr. Godot, if you could please. Mr. Tiger, the court asked you to add that last statement to your testimony. Don't let an animal beat you. Be a man, Your Honor, and ask him yourself. Oh, really? So you have no idea about this, then?
Objection!
Aha! Mr. Tiger, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears that Mr. Elg knew you. What? Mr. Elg left this little note on his calendar. Meet with the Tiger. And the date? December 3rd. December 3rd? That's the day of the murder. So, Mr. Tiger, I submit that you did indeed know when Mr. Glenn Elg, because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Damn, he is bright red and orange. Ha ha ha! Not bad. You's actually not bad. Sorry? I was just messing with you to see how good you were. Did you hear that, Nick? He said you're not bad. That's one compliment I could do without. Plus, he's lying through his teeth. Witness, please remember that you're under oath. Lies will not be tolerated. You's calling me a liar? Is that what you're doing? Ruh-roh! So you're saying that your claim to have never seen that kid before is the truth? I said I'm dead serious. You just better believe that truth. Ha. Then I'd say that gives me time to enjoy another cup of pure black magic. How many coffees has it been? That is, while you testify for the court again, Mr. Tiger. Oh, yes, would you mind indulging the court, witness? You never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie right there. It's time I nailed this guy. The victim, Glenn Elg. I ain't no liar. I never met a Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow some cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tenderlender. I waited around for him, but he ain't ever show. I ain't never been to that Trey Bien joint. You's here? Okay. I see. That all seems to be perfectly logical. You arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up. I've heard that it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I've got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train. That bill's gonna go straight to you, right? Grr. The victim, Glenn Elg. Okay. Okay. I ain't no liar. I never met with Glenn Elg. There was some lame guy with that name, though. Wanted to borrow... Okay. Let me see. What evidence do I have? I never been to the Trey Bien joint. Is there anything that proves that? What would prove that he was there? We don't have any fingerprints.
I mean, I could press them on that.
Yeah, I'll do that. Never. Not even once. Not even once. I was at my office the day that went down. I didn't put no poison in no kid's coffee. Capiche? Do you think he really didn't meet Glenn Elg? Not likely. Because I'm convinced this guy is behind the whole thing. So you mean that whole testimony you gave was a lie? Of course. So we can't afford to give him time to think of ways to plug the leaks in it. I've got to nail him while I still can. Okay.
Hold it!
That's very strange. According to the manager of the firm where the victim worked, December 3rd was the day he had to repay his loan. He wasn't due to discuss borrowing money, but repaying what he owed. Oh, yeah, maybe he's right. Whatever it was going down at the beginning of December. So you did meet Mr. Elk then? Hey, right. You just might want to cool your jets for a sec. You said a meeting, so your meeting was supposed to be 3 p.m. then? Why would I want to go to a dump like that? If I want to talk with my clients, I go to an office decked out for the job. I got the best punching bag you ever saw in there. Okay. So you're in the office on the day in question. You didn't show up? Okay. And you yourself didn't go to 3 p.m. Okay. Already went through this. I ain't got nothing more to say except this. Never been to 3 p.m. He's just deny. And yet, your name was written on the victim's calendar. Get the horse calendar out of my face. I'm the tiger, not a lame horse, you porcupine. Tigers like me eat horses like that for breakfast. No. Witnesses aren't permitted to eat evidence. Not that they ever would. Well, there was this case once where a young lad ate... Wait. Shit, wasn't that actually a piece of evidence? Was there someone... No, Von Karma had a bullet in him. Was there a case where someone ate the evidence? Wait, Phoenix Wright was the one who did that. Literally, Phoenix Wright was... Oh, that's why he says anyway. Yeah, Phoenix Wright ate the evidence. If you had never met the victim before, how do you explain this note he left? Okay, I think I have to... Yeah. I remember. Okay, evidence. Man, do I really not have that much evidence on the guy? No. Okay. I don't... This is actually weird. Is there evidence that he has met him at some point? Evidence that he met him. No. 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 At most, it would be this magazine clipping. I mean, not this one. The sports paper. No.
Hold it!
How do I prove this? Oh. Wait, yeah. I know. We have testimony that you were there.
Objection!
Oh, come on. We literally have testimony that says he was there. Okay, I'm gonna borrow cash. Oh, would it be that, this one?
Objection!
No. There really doesn't seem to be any strong connective evidence. I was expecting something else to pop up by this point.
Objection!
I don't know how to exactly okay. Is there any evidence that the meeting was set up to be there? Not really. I don't think there's any evidence. No? Okay.
Hold it! Objection!
Yeah, I could use like a hint here or something. I am stuck. I'm not quite sure. None of the evidence we have is really that, like, conclusive, really. I mean, the evidence for Tribune, like, there's the loan contract. Oh. Ah. I see. Poundlang and Tenderlander. I just somehow completely skimmed over that.
Objection!
Okay. Mr. Tiger, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches? Matches? What you's talking about? We found them in your office at Tenderlander. There's another evidence read through all the... I got it. They're from that restaurant. What? If you've really never been to Très Bien before, what was a book of restaurant matches doing on your desk? You've been souping around in my stuff too now, wise guy. What are you, my ball and chain? I ain't no broad controlling me. Order, order. Well, witness? I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you? Rawr! So sorry, I'm terribly sorry. Please forgive me. I ain't no pussycat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at the joint that day. What? But listen good, alright? I might have been there, but I still never met that kid. You's gotta read the descriptions, you hear? Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glen Elk that day, and he did put that poison in his coffee. He must... Okay, nope. He didn't. It was the girl. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop's siren on my way out, and I went straight back to my office. I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then? Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions. Ha. No problem. Anytime Trite presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see he pays a penalty. Mr. Godot, that's my job. Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it. Yes, sir. The Special Express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know since yous paying. The girl put in fake poison to trick the old dude? Oh, yeah, I forgot. They say that it was like, that was on purpose so he could see it. Right. So technically he died earlier. And we know he died from a cyanide.
Oh, yeah?
He suspects Tiger because Maggie's selling him at the table now. Yeah. Okay. Got it. At Très Bien. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door, joined saw ugly scene.
Hold it!
Objection!
Oh, wait. Oops. I kind of just pressed something without thinking. Before they didn't... Okay. I'll limit myself to 17 cups of coffee during a trial. That's the rule. You better limit the number of times you take a penalty, right? Or your guts will look like the inside of a chimney. Ashen. Ow. Oh boy. Bro, Phoenix Wright. Really, you cannot be calling him little bro. You can't be saying that. Okay. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. Laid out over stiff as concrete. Okay. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. Literally the only thing I can probably press here will be this. So the meeting wasn't due to take place at Tenderlander at all then? The kid was making a fuss about coming to the office. It's always that way when I want to talk about repayments, even though I got the best punching bag you've ever seen if there's any issues. Maybe it's because of punching bag that people are scared to come? So that's why you decided to meet at Trey Bien.
Objection!
Ha. You're going over old ground again, Trey. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. This might take us a little bit back here, but... no. Well, Nick, what do you think? Okay. Maybe I could try pressing the last thing. Did you go straight back to the office? You went straight back? Did a bout of guilt suddenly hit you for what you did? What are you trying to say? You trying to tell me you ain't never been guilty of nothing? We all have our crosses to bear. We'll have to swallow the dark secrets we hide. Like this! The courtroom's not exactly the place to talk about dark secrets, is it? Really got gifted that sub. It seems you've done it again, Mr. Wright. Another irrelevant line of questioning. Oh my god. Judge, I'm gonna kick you in the balls. Godot, you're chill. And, yeah, I just want to kick the judge in the balls. He deserves it. You mean you saw Glen Oak's dead body? I guess I did, but I only saw him from behind. Okay. He was wearing some raggy bit of clothes he called a hat. And what time was this? I don't know. Huh? You know what winds me up more than anything else in the world? Watches. Round watches. I ain't gonna pollute my paw with some wild-ticking ham packers. Out of interest, Mr. Tiger, what winds you up the second most? Huh? What do you think? Square watches. Is this guy for real? Look, all I need to know was that something bad was going down in that place. Oh, I didn't get punished for that. Tiger is a busy cat. I don't hang around for no one. I got it. Okay. So when exactly did he pick up the matches? There are matches just inside the front door. Our detective friend wound up in trouble with the chef after taking 5 books home. Poor Gumshoe. It's almost enough to make a man cry. Okay. Huh. So... these two didn't punish me. He saw the body. That's weird. Yeah, you couldn't have seen him from behind. I don't think. Actually, the victim was... Actually... there was the partition. I don't think he could have seen him from behind. Yeah. Let me just verify this one more time. Only saw him from behind. Yeah, there's another time. No. Okay. Huh. Laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. He saw the body. He doesn't know the time. Actually, I guess... So he didn't set foot in the restaurant? He's saying that he only went in the entrance. And that's how he got the matches. Okay, we're kind of like creeping our way inwards more and more. Now, what is some proof that he was in that? You've got it, just wrong evidence and or statement? Oh. Right, okay, so it was probably this one then. Wrong evidence and or statement? Okay, it's either... Actually, I can do this. Either I'm gonna present here this one, and if it's not that, then I need to go left. Oh, there we go. You're something of a loan collection pro, aren't you, Mr. Tiger? No one escapes a tiger's clutches. Well, I'm something of a lie-detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight. What's this, Trite? A new line of irrelevant questioning. These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tiger? From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this. Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat. Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head. Unfortunately for you, that's not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition. Why, that's true. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance of Trapian, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him.
Objection!
Wrong! Have you forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday? The victim was alone at his table.
Objection!
But the defense just proved that point to be moot. The victim witnessed by the Mr. Kudo was not Glenn Elg, but a fake. What? In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenn Elg, and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo? In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of this criminal to the court. I mean, who else could it have been but Tiger? Yeah, and like literally, it couldn't have been Armstrong. It would, yeah. Because he had the beanie on, I guess.
Take that!
Obviously. The killer is Furio Tiger. No one else could have done it. What? Well, witness? Yeah. Now that's cute. Yous think you could pin this on the tiger? Maybe yous don't understand. The tiger is a king of the jungle. So I dares you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts? You can't threaten me, Mr. Tiger. It's defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright! Sounds to me like it must have been you, old man. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Mr. Wright, do not leave me to handle this alone. Huh. Perhaps I can end this embarrassment. Mr. Kudo. Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't see just the victim. Oh, no, no, no. The serving girl brought him a Javakino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She's very consciously put some white powder in there. Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison into the coffee. Yes, it was a waitress who poisoned the coffee. Very impressive, Mr. Godot. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack. Ha! Found your pen at last, trite. It was in my pocket. Ahem. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. Yes, your point, Mr. Wright? I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenn Elg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it was possible the waitress was also part of the show. What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well? The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her. Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed? Easy.
Take that!
Who is this woman? Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tenderlander. You's making a big mistake. Do you know who Violetta's grandfather is? You better be going home in an armored truck tonight if you know what I mean. Stop shaking, Nick. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following. Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had this kind of cackling laugh. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seemed to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There is only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice, once for real and once for show. And, Mr. Furio Tiger, the only person who could have committed the crime is you! Witness? What have you got to say? That's cute. Sorry? You's alright. I could deal with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now, but I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You's got it all wrapped up nice, huh? Right? But you's missed out on one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him, you's here. What? You really expect us to believe you now, Mr. Tiger? Ha. What a troublemaker. Troublemaker? Looks like we're going to need another one for the road. One more seeming cut of hot testimony. Indeed. Witness, you will explain yourself to the court. I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Trabian between yourself and the victim? Alright, here we go. Ties to the victim. Yeah, I loaned El cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. The kid had to hit his payback day, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won! $500,000! He got lucky, you know? Real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. Now, I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. Elg was $50,000. Yeah, well, he's got the VIG to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know? That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal. And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question. Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but what is it? Ties to the victim. Well, let's break this down one bit at a time. Oh wait, it might do the thing where it punishes me for pressing it, so I gotta be careful. The kid had to hit his payback date, see? He has no way. Okay, no, that's a contradiction. How much did he have left on his debt? You want it in round figures? About $100,000. That's the whole amount. We're talking about a guy who had 58 cents in his wallet. What? You telling me he wasn't even gonna pay for the coffee? He certainly seems to have been a brave man, this Mr. Elg. That guy was smooth, I tell you. Real smooth. You'll have your money in less than 5 minutes. That's what he says to me. The guy then calls me the Tender Tiger. He was skating on thin ice with me. I'm about to flatten the guy when he started screaming. Hold on. There's a big, No, he did have a way to pay back. He had his CD. Worth millions of dollars. Okay. I'm gonna present. Because if not that, we have on the sports paper here as well. You know what? I'll present this, because $100,000 is written up there. No. Okay. If that's the case, then I can just press the statement following up this. But I feel like we're going to get to this point. Was that because the guy won the lottery? Was his last chance at a big win? And you can confirm that this is the ticket in question? That's it. The Millionaire Radio Show starts at 1:30 p.m. and runs for 10 minutes. That fixes the time you two met with some accuracy. And the whole scene was acted out again 30 minutes later. All that Mr. Kudo would see it. I can still see the kid's face now. I ain't never gonna forget it. Yes, I won $500,000. You got lucky, you know, real lucky. Wait a minute. Wait. Didn't someone else hear him say this at like a different time and they didn't see it? Did Mr. Kudo see this? Was there anyone else in the restaurant at the time? I don't remember. Aha. If there's no one there, I'll wear that ridiculous tiger shirt for a month. Mr. Armstrong, Maggie, and if I'm right, Viola Cadaverini were all there at that time. So the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning? Seems that way to me. But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you? Ha. Oh wait, no. Okay. The undying belief that your next roll will end the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what defines a true gambler. He makes it sound so cool. Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it. All I know is, the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end. If that waitress hadn't done what she done, everything would have been over. The waitress, you mean? The girl with the glasses in the defendant chair. Who else could I mean? If she hadn't gotten in the way, things would have been bada bing, bada boom. Over and done with. Maybe I should push a little on this. What did Maggie do? What exactly are you implying the defendant did? How about you go ask Four Eyes about the $500,000 ticket? She wanted it so bad, she poisoned Elg's coffee. A likely theory. Your words hasn't held water lately, Mr. Tiger.
Objection!
Let's not forget this witness was actually at the scene, trite. The law don't exactly agree with some of the details I sent down. I couldn't be there when the cops showed up, so I split. I see. Your Honor. The witness's last few statements are worth a good 2 cups of coffee. I concur, Mr. Kudo. You will amend your testimony accordingly, witness. Ha ha ha. So that's what he was after, Phoenix, right? Okay. Thanks to what she did, my business with that kid was over. Tiger's trying to pin the crime on Maggie. If I ask him about what he saw, it's only going to damage the case. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Are you all there or what? I'm talking about the cash. I was there to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman. It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way. As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tiger had no motive for killing the victim. Well, Mr. Wright, are you happy with the testimony, or would you like it amended? Have it amended. I'm not going to get anywhere with the testimony as it stands. Your Honor, the defense would like the testimony amended. Very well. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect your recent statements, please. Oh. Huh. So I can swap it. Okay, so... Oh, I know. I was after the 100,000, I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy. Well... If you wanted to have the MC Bomber thing, potentially worth millions of dollars. That could be something. I'm not quite sure, though. I'm gonna present it here, but I'll probably load to save. Actually, yeah.
Objection!
Aha! So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct? I loaned the guy the cash, so that's my right. Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you are really after.
Objection!
What are you getting at, Trait? What else would a moneylender be after other than money? Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch. What is that? Deny that. That's a bot. What is that? A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber. A computer virus? What does one of those do? A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the inside of a computer. A computer? What does one of those do? I guess the beard isn't the only part of his honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is an important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market. Several $1 million? Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial. What? Glenn Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get hold of that program? Exactly. The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Trait. A man like him could get his hand on $1 million without resorting to murder. Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? I do have it. Why did Mr. Tiger need money to the tune of $1 million? Because of the medical bill. Yes.
Take that!
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital, where she underwent surgery. How much of this do you know? These medical papers document the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation costs $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full. What, $1 million? A preposterous sum. Someone should sue these HMOs. Ha, no one would pay a bill like that. If the medical association got wind of it, the hospital would end up dead as a morgue. But Mr. Tiger had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Order! 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 You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright? Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Did you say Cadaverini? Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense. You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glenn Elg's life to pay your debt. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tiger's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glenn Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tiger knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tiger would prefer to say never happened. But he can't, and neither can I. The lottery won? Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. Elg won $500,000 in the lottery, which left Mr. Tiger with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. Oh, because he wouldn't use the CD to pay it back anymore. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. That's crazy. He murdered Glen Elg, and then made his next move, to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tiger posed as Glen Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection!
Like I said, trite, that is crazy. No one can pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
Objection!
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tiger's plan. Order! Order! Silence or I will clear the stand! Rah, ha, ha, ha. You just put on a good show, Spiky. If you just want to stay alive in the loan shark business, you gotta be careful. You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone? If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that. I agree. You do? Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. What? Another one, Mr. Wright? Interesting. Why don't you fill us all in, trite? What was the trick you say Mr. Tiger performed to frame the accused? This.
Take that!
And? What's the relevance of that, trite? It's just a little intro. What the fuck do you... Mr. Phoenix! Just say he pretended to be you! An intro to what? It seems all this has been an elaborate trick on the part of the defense. Oh, fuck off. I'm just gonna load to save. Ugh. I don't understand. No, I did save. At least a little bit. I can speedrun through it. That's bullshit, though. BS! Ugh. Alright. Back at it again. Okay, I was down for 50 out, so you didn't have any reason to kill the guy, blah 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 blah.
Objection!
Objection. Do that, blah 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 blah. Fail. No, come on, you guys all know what that was. That's bullshit. We literally know the exact reason why. He pretended to be me.
Objection!
That attorney. I played the pieces that I was given. My internet lag. Why did he need it? Surgery here.
Take that!
Okay, no, what happened was I presented evidence, and what was that evidence? I presented this one here, when it was like, he took an extra precaution. I swear to God, if they wanted me to actually present this one instead, which is same thing. Go through and all that. Those who know, those who know. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Those who know. I was robbed. It's not quite the same.
Objection!
Objection!
I guess the badge shows he did it. I mean, I would have thought that they count as the same thing. Whatever. I'll present it here, and we just move on. What was the trick? Here you go.
Take that!
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone can be fooled by such a childish and timid oh my god, I can't even speak. Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Imitation. Mr. Tiger, you didn't just pose as the victim on the day of question. A month ago, in this very court, you posed as me. What? That's the truth. But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I know, Judge. You're kind of stupid. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here this very court a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most the most disreputable, shabby defense I have ever seen. Grr. Grr.
Objection!
Can you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here a month ago was his man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him? Gulp. Hey. Forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that. Not me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Objection!
Have you no pride, sir?
Objection!
This isn't a matter of pride. It's in a case you didn't know, trite. Here in court, we deal with people's lives. Mr. Godot is right. Your Honor, speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it. No! If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tiger are dubious for sure, but not conclusive. But we've come so far. You say he impersonated Glenn Elg, you say he impersonated you, but none of that adds up to a murder charge. You didn't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee. Wait, no, the fingerprints. Wait, no, that's for the Europe medicine. Ha! Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, and you're gonna get mauled. You's got that? All we managed to do here was chase him around for a bit, but I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt. Ha! Looks like I won't be needing a refill. If I just had one more piece of evidence, and maybe I can get Maggie off the hook. Gumshoe, this witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tiger. No. Hold it. Your Honor, sir? Wait! Detective? Detective Gumshoe? Sorry it took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works, so here it is. My heart's counting on this, too. What is it, Detective? Isn't it obvious, pal? It's the final, decisive piece of evidence. What? January 8th, 2:48 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 1. Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results? About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle. Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now? Do you think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know. So, tell us, They're the tigers, right? I knew it. You bet. Clear as crystal, all over the bottle. There are Furio Tiger's paw prints, alright? That's great. We've got them now, Nick. What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick. I know. Look, I'm sorry. This is kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? What we need to produce at this stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, that really doesn't make any difference now. I knew it. Great. No matter how hard I try, I'm never of any use. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. This is our last chance to help Maggie. I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal. Detective Gumshoe? Maggie? You've been working on something. For me? Sorry I let you down, Maggie. I know you didn't do it. And I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry! Oh, get out of your hair now. Detective Gumshoe, wait! He's gone. Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick? I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it. Okay, small bottle put into pocket. I swear this is the dumbest shit ever. Reno, I'm going to snap your neck. In Minecraft. Sorry, I gotta throw that in for the Twitch gods. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I granted you a recess so you can prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered. Yes. Don't keep us all in suspense, Trite. Show us. Naturally. We can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we? Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. How much more of my time are you gonna waste? I ain't been to no court before, but you's a lawyer sure know how to blow things out of proportion. Adam the Dragon is turning to stone again. No! No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright. Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here, but maybe if he thinks he's got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit. Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
Take that!
This is the defense's final piece of evidence. Isn't that the victim's? Your Honor. Naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tiger. What? But, Mr. Wright, what conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information? Everyone here knows what this bottle contains, except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark. My prints are on that fancy-looking bottle? Is that what you're saying? Well, what the hell's in it anyway? I'm gonna tell him there's poison in it. A phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tiger, this is a decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains potassium cyanide. Actually, should I say? I'll save up here. Yeah, let's do this one. Just to be safe. This bottle contains potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide? The poison used to murder Mr. Elk, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tiger, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? You'd make a good clown, you know that? What? You ain't never gonna get this to stick. You's just making me laugh now. You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool the tiger? A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix Wright. That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it. Wait. Hold on. No, this bottle... Wait, hold on. Don't mess with the tiger, you're gonna... You know which bottle has the cyanide in it? The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash. Don't look nothing like that. Got him. At last. What? Why has everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle... Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy-looking suit fool you people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go. You still haven't figured it out? Don't you realize what you just said? What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You don't know who you's messing with. I'm the Tiger. I control millions of dollars on the black market. You think I'm gonna let some jump-up suit get the better of me? Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial with a phony lawyer, it was all played out by you, the biggest phony of all. Oh my god! He's What? Did the lights just go out? Hello? What's going on? It looks like a blackout. Oh, well done, trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey. Wow. We did it! Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going with Mr. Tiger, Mr. Godot? He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor. Fortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Mr. Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense attorney. Yes, she was. And in the absence of genuine evidence, but the tiger made one mistake. Indeed. He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Why does every person at the end of the trial yell? I've seen the ending of like 2. That is how it goes. Like, genuinely, it always ends with them tweaking out, but listen. Prison has got to be the most evil thing to possibly exist in the Phoenix Wright world, given how much they freak out. We never see any person again once they were sent to prison. For all we know, they're like immediately put on death row. Actually, no. And they've stated it. I think murder charges like death row. Ha. The truly frightening one is that defense attorney over there. Godot. Well, I'm now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant, Maggie Bird, not guilty! Woo! Let's fucking go! That is all. This court is adjourned. January 8th, 4:10 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby, Number 1. Mr. Wright! We did it. I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Maggie. I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. But now I feel like I can forgive him. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Look, Nick. In the doorway. Detective Gumshoe? Oh. Guess I'll be heading off then. See you around, pal. Wait! Detective Gumshoe? Oh yeah. Congratulations, Maggie. Thanks. I knew you were innocent all along. Why didn't you say that in your testimony then? Huh? Oh, well, well, I guess I'll be heading off then. See you around. Wait up, detective. He just ran off. Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles. Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him. Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick? Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie? You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up. He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts. He doubted me, and that's why I thought he might have done it. He thought, oh my god, I've got to prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. I know. I'll give her a little present to celebrate her freedom. Weenies!
Take that!
Here you are, a present to celebrate your freedom. That's a present from Detective Gumshoe, made with a ton of love. He said you lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies, you know? What the fuck? Did you guys hear that? I'm pretty hungry myself, you know. Oh, it's just starving. Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it? Is it okay if I eat this now? Yay, Gumshoe got his food. So, how is it, Maggie? It's really good. Hooray. So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows, maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start. I hope Gumshoe...
I am rooting for Gumshoe. I'm rooting for my boy. Yay! Episode 3, Recipe for a Turnabout, the end.
We did it! We finished the trial. Next up in line, Edgeworth? He's back! What the Oh my god. Phoenix Wright, try not to have Edgeworth show up in the most drippiest outfit known to man, dude. Save your progress up to this point? You sure bet I will. Alright. He's back! Alright. And with that, I am going to end the stream here, dude. Like, man. That was a power hour. That was nice. I just started it. We did the trial, and now we're done, and on to the next thing. I would say, you know what? Let me do a little closing thoughts on this trial here. That trial felt filler, but it wasn't. Because of the Gumshoe stuff. And just like, I don't know. I'm still saying, so far, this would probably be the weakest case in this game. Still infinitely better than every Justice for All case. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, I don't remember. When I do the tier list at the end here, I'll go over it. But this game has been strong as far as cases go. we started off with Mia, and then we did like, oh my god, it had a cool villain. Honestly, I mean, I like the idea of Guy pretending to be Phoenix Wright, but I don't know. I found the villain, it made some sense. Yeah, I found like the tiger guy. I mean, he wasn't all that crazy. I honestly feel like it's weird that we didn't get any, maybe in the next case we will, but it's weird that we introduced like like Cadaverini girl, and she just never spoke up again. I was kind of expecting her to be called in. I just like Furio Tiger. That's fair. I mean, he seems silly. I'm guessing he probably has his own like little tiny cult fan base. Furry? Nah. He's just got like he's orange. I just look at him, I'm like, orange. I don't know though. Edgeworth is showing up though, and as you know, if Edgeworth is showing up, he works for like the FBI super agency or something. But all I know is he better not replace Godot. I'll be mad. I'll be mad if they do the thing where Godot gets sidestepped. I think Godot might be... Listen, Edgeworth is like S. Godot might be alongside, like, Edgeworth. I would say that if Edgeworth is an S, what's it called? Von Karma is like a C, maybe D. I really think Von Karma lady, she is really, really, Godot still has more time to shine. I'm sure of it. They have like a story with him to the point where I have to make sure I don't look up his name so I don't get spoiled. You still haven't reached peak? That is very good to hear. Man, it's good to know that there's a lot to look forward to. So I guess aside from that, I believe I will close the stream off here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all again a very